welcome back to my channel. I hope you are all doing well, and welcome if you are new here. We are continuing on with the steampunk theme. We are doing two projects in today's video using this one mould from Moulds and Shapes. It is the elongated Druzy edge mould, and it is a beauty. I will have it linked below alongside your 10% discount code CCCTECK. Now the powders I'm using in today's video are all mica powders from Arteza. Any mica powders will do. You do not need Arteza's mica powder. Any powder will do the job. We are using the chuck it in with the alcohol spray technique, one of my absolute favorite techniques that I've been using a lot lately. And to top it off, like to fill these molds, I'm going to be using the Starry Sky and Midnight from Amanda Towgood. These are deep blue mica powders from Amanda Towgood, Resin Supplies Den. And look at this. If you saw a couple of videos back, I did a whole Amazon UVDTF haul. This was my absolute favorite from the entire set, so we're going to use this first. Now the resin I'm using in today's video is the Estoyo. Now forgive me, Estoyo, I have not used your resin for ages. It is an absolutely beautiful resin, but guys, I have not used this for, I want to say, a year and a half, maybe 2 years. If anyone can go back and find the video, I don't remember. And for that reason, because it has been sitting on my shelf for a solid year and a half to 2 years, in daylight, it has gone slightly yellow, but that is absolutely not going to impact the final results of this video. So part A was perfectly clear. Part B had got a yellow tinge to it. Resin does go yellow over time, and the fact that I've not even touched these bottles for like a year and a half to 2 years, and they've just been soaking up all of the sun in my craft room, it's not good. Don't be like me. However, I knew they would still work. It would still fully cure. And I'm not going to be using it as a clear resin anyway. I'm going to be adding colour. So honestly, it's not going to have any detrimental effect. I have put it off to one side, and it is currently being mixed by my Let's Resin mixing machine. Now, these machines, like I told you recently, I've bought another one as well, like out of my own money, because they're just so handy. Whilst the resin is mixing, I can just crack on and film this section of the video while the resin is mixing. I don't even have to think about it. So this is the mica powder and alcohol technique, which gives some fabulous results. You just want to grab some mica on a brush and try and get it in the mold and not on the table like me. Honestly, it is a messy one, but it's so much fun. I'm pulling out all of the colours from the sticker. The sticker's got loads of copper, brown, blue, gold, all of those colours. So all of the steampunk grunge colours. Again, you can be quite generous with your mica powder and just, I guess, dollop in clumps is the only way to describe it. You can just dollop it into your mould in clumps, not mountains, just clumps. So in first went the brown, and sorry, I didn't realize there was quite an empty pause there on the video, but next up, this. Do not use this. Do not use this. This is marbling powder. I believe this is something from Amazon or eBay or somewhere along those lines. Now this is not mica powder. Luckily for me, I did not use much of this at all on the first tray, so it has not affected it. It has not had a detrimental effect at all. And yeah, hindsight is a wonderful thing. I'm just so glad I quickly moved on to back to mica powder, back to the Arteza of the copper bronze, and then finishing off with the Arteza blue. The gold powder, if you have this. Now, back in the day, Apex Resin used to be called Just For You Online, and they used to do a ton of products as well. And I remember buying, before I worked with them, I remember buying, and I still have them, floating pigment powders. Does anyone have those? I've got the gold, bronze, copper, silver floating pigment powders. Now, that gold that I've used here that you saw called marbling powder, identical. Absolutely identical to the floating pigment powders. They are not mica. They are designed to literally float. Surprise, surprise. Who knew? Obviously, this one says marbling powder. It doesn't say floating pigment powder, you know. So I just didn't know what would happen at the time. But again, I do 2 projects in this video, so you will see the problem, you will see what happened, and you will see just how detrimental this is. Now we're going to spray alcohol. You can count along. I do spray quite a bit. Now, I'm not going to count on camera, but I literally was, when I was editing this film, I was like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. And it turns out I sprayed quite a lot of alcohol into this one single tray. And whilst editing, I actually counted 47 sprays. So don't be afraid to spray your alcohol. It's, immediately you can see that, all the powder's coming up and we're getting a beautiful background. I have had some seriously stunning backgrounds lately, especially with this mica powder and alcohol technique. This bit here is it's giving peacock feathers. It is beautiful. There are times where I wish the back of the tray was the front of the tray, to be honest. I think because I used so much alcohol and so little powder to soak up all that alcohol, even the surface is not as dreamy as I would like it to be. But this background is simply stunning. It's giving nebula vibes. I did have some leftover resin, surprise, surprise. So I just poured them into this molds and shapes mold, the pendant mold or medallion mold, just to use it up. Again, don't want to waste it. This is 24 hours later and I absolutely love the colours, but they've definitely washed away from the centre of the mould. That dark blue is stunning. And yeah, at the moment, I know I'm going to put a sticker on this, so the middle doesn't really matter. The middle is quite bland. What I really need is for these colours to tie in with that UVDTF. So I've had much better results, I think. The surface. If you guys have been with me a while and we've all done the mica and alcohol technique together, I was worried about the gold. I could see gold on my fingers, but I couldn't quite work out where it was coming from at this stage. So I just cracked on. The sticker is, and it just matches. I couldn't have got a better match. And the fact that the center of this tray is bland and boring and not my best results ever, it doesn't matter. The sticker's covering it up, and I have still got those really cool effects around the outline of the sticker with the blue, the gold, the copper, and it's all coming through. So it all ties in, and I didn't pay too much mind to that. In the end, I was like, oh, it works. It works. We've covered up the dull, boring center. Really happy that the colours of the Druzy edge work absolutely perfectly with the sticker. The blues in this sticker and the blues in the Druzy edge, stunning, absolutely stunning. Now, of course, you really could do a lot more with this. You could, add in some actual cogs, wheels and keys into the Druzy edge. You don't, and then do the mica powder. I don't know how that would come out. I really don't. But again, just explore and have fun and experiment. Peeling back the protective layer of this UVDTF. Remember, if you've never used a UVDTF, there's 2 layers. So you peel back the sticky bit, stick it down, and then you peel back the protective layer. And once this sticker is down, it's not coming off. I just realised it looks like a kind of butterfly effect behind her with almost wings. But yeah, love, love, love the colour matching on this. Absolutely gorgeous. Pretty spot on, to be honest. Just all these colours, they're beautiful. Grungy, gorgeous, yummy, dark and moody. Yes, please. Now, we're using a brand new resin this time. So we've used an old yellowing resin, but this time we're using a brand new, to me, not brand new to the market, but brand new to me, epoxy resin. Now, it is pretty new to the market. This again is from Apex. This is their brand new top coating and doming resin. So I was expecting it to be a bit thicker because sometimes those resins are. Just looking at this, it is 1:1 by volume or 1:2 by weight. I will be sticking to volume because I ain't got time for that maths. You've got a 2.5 hour work time, heat resistant, up to 90 degrees centigrade. That's pretty pretty darn hot. So super for your cup of tea. And again, 1-to-1 if by volume. Okay, so because it's me, I love my calibrated cups. I will be measuring by volume and not by weight. Otherwise, it's 2-to-1. It's very important that you know that, that you read the instructions. So once I've poured this out, again, this is top coating and doming. Once I've poured this out, I do end up putting it over on my Let's Resin mixing machine, coming back to the table so then I can crack on, right? I had leftover resin, like I said. I put it into the medallion mould from Moulds and Shapes. And then I thought, well, while the resin is mixing, I might as well just get these made. These weren't really part of the video, but I might as well show you the background. The one thing I love about these UVDTF stickers is that they snap. They actually snap and crunch. So sticking them on something like this is so easy. Look, just, yeah, literally do what I'm doing on the screen. And you don't have to use scissors or a craft blade. They literally snap where you bend them. And it's just ideal for rounded pendants like this. You don't have to worry about it. In the meantime, the resin was finished mixing. I put it into my Let's Resin debubbling machine to get it as crystal clear as possible. And it is time to top coat. Now, as I expected, I have been using Apex resin now for quite some time. I do use a lot of resins, but Apex is up there as my absolute favourite. Crystal clear, super easy to use. And if you warm up Apex resin, no lie, it is like water. It is the most beautifully fluid resin that I've used in a very, very long time. And it was very similar with the top coat. Like, it was so crystal clear, even before I'd done any mixing, but obviously mixing it together does create bubbles. So just, do what you've got to do to get rid of the bubbles. That can be adding heat, putting the bottles in hot water. That can be using a bubble removing machine, anything like that. As it stands, it's looking super gorgeous, crystal clear. I've done the top coat on this tray. There were no issues at all with this tray. And again, we've got 2 projects going on. So we've got another tray coming up. I used the leftovers just to top coat these pendants, and look at this dome. Stunning. Now, the reason this resin works as a doming resin is because it is thicker. It is thicker than your standard basic resin for coasters. And that means that it's not flowing as fast. And that means that you can get a much nicer, beautiful dome as a top coat. Did these flow over the edge? Yes, one of them did. Why is that, you ask? Well, it's because A, I poured too much too quick, and B, my surfaces are not level, probably never will be. Yes, Claire, you call yourself a resin artist. I know. I know, guys, I know. One day. What's your dream, Claire? To have a level surface, guys. So, we are moving on. I have put a load of resin back into the resin mixer machines. I am filming a lot of projects all at once right now, so back with the tray, and we're going to continue. Now, this is where it all went a little bit wrong. Had I known the impact and the detrimental nature of that gold powder, if I'd have made the mistake in the first tray, I wouldn't have repeated it. But because the first tray came out completely fine, I didn't know. My knowledge wasn't there at this stage. So I continue on. My plan for this tray was to make a steampunk hot air balloon tray with a whole series of hot air balloons on the surface. I thought it would be pretty cool. I've used copper, brown, blue, and at this stage I thought it needs to have the gold, right? Because all of these hot air balloons have got gold in them. So the resin that I'm using to back this one is going to be brown, because I thought, well, why not make it a little bit different from the first tray? I was going to do 2 separate videos here, but then I thought, well, that's a bit same. It's a bit same to do exactly the same mold and pretty much the same sticker on both. So I figured I'd put it into one video. Now, this gold powder, you can see here, I put in 3 times the amount of gold. Way too much for the resin to cope with it. Again, it's not a mica, so the resin didn't soak it up the way it did in the first one. Equally, when it came to the alcohol spray, this could have had quite an impact on it as well, because editing this and counting the sprays on this one, without even counting it, you can see I barely sprayed it compared to the first tray. So this time around, I only counted around 20 sprays. So this might also have been one of the reasons for the error. I know I haven't really spoken about the error at this point. You're thinking, Claire, what's the problem? What's gone wrong? I'm wondering if because I barely sprayed the alcohol this time, that gold didn't actually soak it up. And had the gold soaked it up more, if I'd have sprayed more, the gold would have soaked it up more and not done what it did. So again, I did fill this tray up to the very, very top before demolding, and this is 24 hours later. Straight away, I noticed a problem. The gold was still stuck in the mould. Now, I have not experienced this yet with the mica powder Chuck It All In. Now, you'll notice no other colour was stuck in the mould. Just this gold, this marbling gold or floating pigment powder, whatever you want to. It's not mica. Have I said that enough? I don't want you guys to make this mistake. The gold was still very much stuck in the mould. Now, there is a bit of copper there as well, but I'm wondering if there was gold under it. I don't know. Now, I thought immediately, if it's wet on the mould, it will be wet on the tray as well. So I sprayed the tray with alcohol, and lo and behold, it was flying off the tray. Now, I wish I knew then what I know now. I didn't. So this is what I need you guys to avoid. Just don't ever use it. If you're doing this alcohol technique, mica powder 100% of the time, don't ever use this powder. It's literally rubbing off every single finger coated in the gold that simply just did not soak up the resin. Now, I did my best at this stage to spray the tray down with alcohol and wipe the sides. I only had tissue, so the tissue was getting shredded. It was a right old mess. Ideally, I'd have wipes, I'd have a cloth, I'd have something that's not going to disintegrate on me. Now, at this stage, I'd already stuck. I fast forwarded this because we don't stick to this plan. My plan was to stick a load of hot air balloons down, but as I was cutting out the second one, I was like, do you know what? I don't like it. It's not enough. They're too blended into the background. They're not contrasting enough. You're not really going to see them as much as I wanted you to see them. Once these stickers are down, they're impossible to get back up. Not utterly impossible. You can, of course, get a scraping tool. You can get your Cricut weeding tool. You can dig it. You can dig it off. However, for me, the best option moving forward was to just cover it up. Let's just all pretend, okay, this never happened. Nobody will know, apart from you, me, and however many people watch this video. No one's gonna know. So I turned the tray upside down because it was the woman's bottom, the woman's lower body that fit over the balloon. The other way around, you could still see the balloon past her head, so I turned the tray upside down. This sticker, I'm not gonna lie, the universe is just amazing sometimes. It always comes through for me. Like, honestly, I think this sticker works unbelievably perfectly well with this tray, and if anything, it's almost like I planned it this way, which I didn't. The sticker is perfection. It works. The colors work. Everything works. Now, not all of my steampunk stickers have the brown, blue, gold aesthetic. They don't all have it. So it just so happens that the colours I chose for the back of this tray work perfectly for this sticker. She is a beauty of a sticker, and you can barely see. You can just see it there, but you can't really see the outline of the hot air balloon that I covered up underneath, pretending that that never happened. And yeah, really, really happy at this point. Now, it was time to top coat after peeling back that protective layer. The original tray that I did at the beginning of this video, it had a top coat. It was perfect, absolute perfect top coat. But something got in. I don't know what it was. Something must have knocked it, because there was an actual scratch, a physical scratch on the surface of that first tray. So I ended up sanding the surface down just to give it a fresh top coat. Now, again, I don't know what happened because I didn't see anything. It was a weird little mark. Probably should have filmed it. I did show my patrons over on Patreon. I zoomed in on it. But I don't know why I didn't show that here. But yeah, another fresh top coat. Now, using the heat gun, just getting these as smooth as possible. Now, at this stage, I'm thinking just perfect. Like that tray I did at the beginning of this video, the one on the left, perfection. Absolute perfection. Could not be any more perfect. This tray, oh, look at this. Look at this. My heart was absolutely bleeding. My heart was in my mouth. The gold powder, i.e. the floating pigment powder, not mica, is now leaking out from all the sides and it is floating on the surface of the top coat. Now, there's not much I can do about it at this time. I'm not in the mood to pour all of this resin out, clean the tray and go again. I thought, you know, if anything, it's just going to add to it. I was just hoping that this section here would almost stay there and it wouldn't float out and right over the surface of the mold. This tray, however, stunning, perfection. This tray, I used way too much gold, not enough alcohol, and the gold is seeping out everywhere. Now, this is 24 hours later. They are both cured. I absolutely love them. I think the results are gorgeous. They both work. Even this. This is the gold that seeped out from those edges. And it's okay. It just works. It's like another layer, another element of depth. It gives the tray more depth. Is the side of the mold still wet with gold? Yes. I've got a lot of work to do on this one. I won't be able to sell this one unless I can get rid of that. You don't want to be touching your stuff and just having gold everywhere. So not ideal. Lesson learned. I hope you guys take that lesson as well. Either way, despite all of that, despite it all, I hope you absolutely love these and it's given you some inspiration. Some part of the video has inspired you in some way to do something. If you do recreate these, don't forget the hashtag Claire made me do it. This tray, I'm rubbing the gold. There's absolutely nothing coming off. So at this point, I'm thinking it was the amount of alcohol that I put into that first tray, like over 40 sprays versus 20 sprays for the second tray, because that first tray, no issues, absolutely no issues whatsoever. Yeah, gorgeous. Love, love, love. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Thanks for watching and I will see you all in the next video. Bye.